And now, the best 60-ish seconds of your week. Since we last spoke, CPAC, the largest gathering of conservatives in the world and the largest gathering of politicians in the United States outside of maybe the Democrat and Republican national conventions, they only meet once every 4 years. CPAC is an annual event, concluded. And on the last day, President Trump, in his brief remarks, gave a 2+ hour stem winder that was met with interesting result across the country. But one of the visual images, the money shot of Saturday's performance, was his hugging the U.S. flag. I was on the radio the other day and somebody called to criticize the president for doing that. My response was pretty quick and pretty clear. At least he was hugging the stars and stripes, not the hammer and sickle, like some of our friends on the other side of the aisle are doing recently. With this ever-increasing tilt on the Democratic side towards the far left of their party, it's lunacy for them politically. It's just horrible for the country. President Trump is right. America will never be a socialist country. And so why there continues to be this gigantic shift to the left on the Democratic side of the aisle remains to be seen. It's a gigantic question. And Nancy Pelosi obviously is not able to rein in her own caucus, couldn't even get a vote to the floor on anti-Semitism, which turned into anti-hate, etc. I'm told that shortly after we conclude taping this today, they'll actually get that vote. But why does it take that? And why is Congresswoman Omar still on the House Foreign Affairs Committee? That's a gigantic question which remains unanswered. Anti-Semitism in any form has no place, period, and something needs to be done. Meanwhile, as we look at the Democratic field for 2020, growing by the day, Sherrod Brown is out. Joe Biden might be in. He's not saying, but every indication is that he's going to run and that there may actually be some behind-the-scenes maneuvering to get folks like Sherrod Brown not to run so that Joe Biden can grab the quote-unquote moderate center of the Democratic Party. He's aging, though, to say it gracefully, and whether or not he actually runs remains to be seen. A lot of family considerations there. We'll have to wait. He's doing the right thing politically, though by waiting, he figures that the other Democratic candidates will cannibalize each other and open the way for him. And as we suggested numerous times a few weeks ago, Huawei is back in the news, suing the United States government. Good luck with that. Meanwhile, of course, U.S. prosecutors have brought criminal charges against Huawei, and their chief financial officer, who was arrested in Canada some weeks ago, actually months ago at this point, is still awaiting extradition to the United States. All of this over the 5G competition that we're trying to set up with a variety of deals. All of them impacted by the Clayton Act, and a lot of little moving pieces there having to do with antitrust provisions. If they can work all of that out, this is a giant opportunity for American consumers. So let's wait and see how that all works out. But China remains the big kahuna in terms of 2020 politics as well, because if a China deal, which is now, the deadline has now been extended for, actually gets accomplished, it's a tremendous boon to President Trump. Some say that the stock market could jump 4,000 or 5,000 points as a result of a successful trade deal with China. It certainly would be a boost to the economy and to the political fortunes of the president. So the next few weeks, critical on the Chinese front on a variety of different levels. But for now, that is the best 60-ish seconds of your week.